I think we can start the class.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. I think I shall start my class now.
Yes.
Everything is okay? Can hear, also can see the lecture slides. All right. So welcome to BI Case Study Joint Short Program, a collaborative program between Telkom University and Maldi University. My name is Liu Sok Ling. You can call me Dr. Liu. I'm from Faculty of Information Science and Technology, Multimedia University, based in Malacca, Malaysia. Today, my topic is BI, Business Intelligence Overview. This is a brief introduction topic, joint short program. So I hope you will learn the learning objectives that are listed here. The main goal of this class are to help you to understand today's turbulent business environment and describe how organizations survive and even excel in such an environment, solving problems and exploiting opportunity. Understand the need for computerized support of managerial decision-making, describe the BI methods and also concept, and understand the various types of analytics and selected applications. All right. First, I will share with you how organizations can employ analytics to develop reports on what is happening, predict what is likely to happen, and then also make decisions to make best use of the situations at hand. A model called Business Pressure Response Support Model was developed, and which is actually shown in figure 1.1. This is the figure 1.1. In this figure, the Business Pressure Response Support Model, also as the name indicates, has three components. Business pressure that result from today's climate, responses or the action taken by the company to counter the pressure, or to take advantage the opportunities, on the other hand, available in the environment, and computerized support that facilitate the monitoring of the environment and enhance the response action taken by the organizations. So you can see here, we will have the input from business environmental factors as pressure, on the other hand, or opportunity pumped into the organization responses, which will be at the end turn income the strategy, partner collaboration, real-time response, and so on and so forth. And at the end, we can have decision and support for analysis, prediction, and decisions. And at the basis, we have BI as a support, which will be integrated at the end for the computerized decision support from the basis of BI. Okay, so for this, I will take globalization as an example. So today, you can easily find suppliers and customers in many countries, which means you can buy cheaper materials and sell more of your products and services. Great opportunity exists. However, on the other hand, globalization also means more and stronger competitions. So meaning that from globalization as the business environmental factors, it can produce pressure as well as opportunity. Okay, let's proceed to business environment. The business environment factors can be divided into 4 major categories. Okay, markets, consumer demands, technology, and society, which will be summarized later. And we take note that the intensity, okay, the intensity from the factor here, from 4 factors here, actually increase with time, leading to more pressure, more competition, and so on. And For each of the factor, we have the description. For example, for markets, strong competition, expanding global markets, blooming electronic markets on the internet, innovative marketing methods, opportunity for outsourcing with IT support, the need for real-time on-demand transaction, and so on and so forth. So these are on the side of the business environmental factors. Okay, for the business environment, which actually are creating opportunity, problems, and we take globalization as example. Okay, let's proceed. In this kind of environments, manager must respond quickly. Okay, they will innovate to be agile, and let's see how they can do it in the organizational responses. Okay, so this is the organizational responses from the company side. From the organization, they must be reactive, anticipative, adaptive, and also proactive. Managers may take actions such as employ strategic planning, use new and innovative business model, restructure the business processes, participate in business alliances, improve corporate information system, and more. Private and public organizations are also aware of the today business environment and pressure. They will use different action to counter the pressure. For example, the Vodafone, okay, from New Zealand, turn BI to improve communications and to support executive in its efforts to retain existing customer and increase revenue from their customers. So manager may also take other actions, including that listed here, to respond to the environmental factors. Okay, so this is the sample of the organization responses in the model that can respond to the business environmental factor as the second steps in the pressure response support model. Okay. One of the major objectives of computerized decision support is to facilitate closing the gap. That's why now we are looking at how actually to close the strategy gap between the current performance of an organization and its desired performance as expressed in its mission, objective, goals, and the strategy to achieve them. In order to understand why computerized support is needed and how it is provided, especially for decision support, let's look further at the managerial decision making. This is a framework for BI. We have BI as an evolution of decision support concept over the time, then and now. Then EIS, Executive Information System, now is for everybody. That's why we call it as everybody's information system is actually BI for now. BI systems are enhanced with additional visualizations, alerts, and performance measurement capabilities. And the term BI actually is emerged from the industry. Okay, now let's look at what is the definition of BI before we can further study the case study. Now let us to define the BI. As the first point, BI cover many things. BI combines architectures, tools, databases, analytical tools, applications, and methodologies. It is under BI. BI is a content-free expression. It's not fixed, but it is a content-free, so it means different things to different people. Meaning that they can actually customize BI for their own use. BI's major objective, what is the purpose? Is to enable easy access to data. So the first thing you will see that the component here is data, right? Easy access to data and to provide business manager with the ability to conduct analysis. From the data, we are going to conduct analysis. So these are the main job being done by BI. BI helps transform data. What we are going to do? Transform the data using maybe models, then transform them into information and later knowledge. What do you want from the transformation of data to decision? We are making decision and finally make use of the decision then make from the data to action. So this is covered by the scope of BI. Okay, let's look at a little bit of the history of BI. Okay, the term, where's the term come from? The term BI was coined by Gartner Group in the mid-1990s. However, the concept is much older. So when you look at here, it's much older, back to 1970. Okay, it's back to 1970. During this period, reporting system were only static. Right? No analytical capabilities, or only, we can say it's only 2D, right? It's only reporting for periodic reports or static reports. That was in the past. In the early 1980s, you can see the evolutions. The concept of EIS emerged. This concept expand the computerized support to top-level managers and executives. That's why we can have executive name, okay, in front here. So it's called EIS in 1980s. Some of the capability introduced were dynamic later in 1990s. So we will have this OLAP, okay, the analytic coming in. The capability introduced were dynamic, multi-dimensional, ad hoc or on-demand reporting, forecasting, prediction, trend analysis. What do we have? We have some more like drill down to details, status assess, critical success factors. All these features appears, okay? All these features appear in thousands of commercial products until the mid-1990s. Then the same capabilities, okay, bring forward the same capability forwards and some new ones appears under the name of BI. So today, a good BI-based EIS contains all the information executive needed. So the original concept of EIS was transformed later into BI. So you can see that by actually 2005, okay, somewhere here, 2005, BI system started to introduce AI. We can have AI capability as well as powerful analytical capabilities. So this is about the brief history from 1970s until now. Let's look at with timeline, evolution of computerized decision support to analytics or data science. So this figure actually shows the terminology used to describe analytics since the 1970s. So you can see that the terminology used from routine reporting, moving forwards to when BI coming in, we have the analytics capabilities and we can analyze big data with analytic capability. BI, big data are actually input. So we can have big data analytics in memory, in database, advanced technology, social network, media analytics are coming in, okay, in this timeline. Okay, let's proceed. About the evolution of the capabilities. Okay, on top of the terminology used, now we look at the evolution of BI capabilities, various tools and techniques. You can look at this figure, are listed various tools and techniques that may be included in a BI system. It illustrates the evolution of BI as well. Then you can see that I have already included also the timeline for you. Let's say, for example, in back to 1970s, we have MIS at this side, and 80s, 90s with analytics, and 2010s, all right, with BI, the capabilities. Okay, let's move forward to the architecture. What are the components? Okay, what are the components? So this is inside the scope of the architecture of BI. A BI system has four main components. Number one, a data warehouse with its source data. Number two, BA, business analytics. Okay, business analytics is a collection of tools for manipulating, mining, and analyzing the data in the data warehouse. Number three, BPM, or a full name is Business Performance Management, for monitoring and analyzing the performance. And number four, a user interface. For example, is a dashboard. And the relationship among this component actually will be illustrated in this figure. We call it as a high-level architecture of BI, and it shows the relationship among all the components. Data warehouse environment as the input to data warehouse, right? And we have technical staff to handle business analytic environments, business users. We can, as a user, to access to data warehouse, and we can have manipulation result return. Okay, return to the manager for performance and strategies, monitoring, and also generating some reports. Of course, at the other side, providing UI, access using browser, portal, or dashboards. And the whole thing actually is the environment of the architecture of BI. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, let's look at here one by one. We will have a briefly discussion about the components. The first one will be, I already copied down to be easy reference. We are focusing on this side, okay, for the data warehouse environment. Okay, this is a cornerstone of any medium to large BI system. All right, to illustrate the major characteristic. First, we will show that BI is not namely transaction processing. We are all familiar with the information system that support our transaction. All right. Originally, the data warehouse included only historical data that was organized and summarized, so end user could easily view or manipulate it. Today, some data warehouses include access to current data as well, so they can provide a real-time decision support. So this is for the first component. Next, we will have BA, analytics part. So what are the tools? So these two we call BA tools, are the tools that help the user transform data into knowledge. So the data from here, from the technical staff, so we can using this data to transform it into knowledge. For example, what can we do? Queries, data takes, or mining tool, and etc. at the BA environment side. All right. Next one is BPM. BPM at this side, which is also referred to as a corporate performance management, or we call it as CPM, is an emerging portfolio of application within the BI framework that provides enterprise tools that need to better manage their operations at this side. And last component is the UI. For example, like dashboards for software, like you can actually easily to monitor and to use it to monitor the reports in real-time way. If let's say any measure change, it will return or in a live reflection of the measures in the dashboard. You can look at that. Provide a comprehensive graphical or pictorial view of the corporate performance measure. For example, like trends using a graph or a line chart or exceptions. So this is the UI. All right. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, after the explanation of the components, what are the basic components of the architecture of BI? We have already know that, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 components. Then now, before we are going to see further on, so we want to actually differentiate between transaction processing versus the analytic processing. Okay, why we want to look at the difference? Because we want to see the major characteristic of BI. First, we will show what BI is not. Okay, it's not only transaction processing, but we have more on analytic parts. Okay, for example, is the like ATM. Okay, ATM withdrawal transaction. Okay, like bank deposit, cash register, scan at the grocery store, and so on. We are all very familiar with this. Okay, transaction processing are constantly involved in handling only updates. Okay, handling updates to add, to edit, or to delete. This is what we usually see. Okay, like ATM withdrawal transaction, sales order, OLTP. OLTP, what's the full name? Online transaction processing. Okay, so this handles the routine ongoing business. It's a routine. Next, ERP, enterprise resource planning, SCM, supply chain management, CRM, customer relationship management. These are all the systems. Okay, all the systems commonly used by the organization to have a more efficient processing of the resource planning, of the supply, of the customer relationship. So the system actually will generate and store the data in the OLTP system. Okay, the main goal is to have the high efficiency. So this is about the transaction processing system, OLTP. All right. In summary, actually OLTP system handle a company routine ongoing business lah. For example, like ERP, SCM, CRM, sales order, then e-commerce site updates on the databases. Okay, so this is OLTP. But in contrast, what do we have in contrast is the OLAP. Is the online, OL is online analytic processing, AP. Okay, in contrast, data warehouse is typically a distinct system that provides a storage for the data that will be used for analysis. So OLAP systems are involved in extracting the information from data stored by the OLTP system. So previously already stored in the OLTP system, now is the time to extract the information from the data. Okay, so we want to transform the data into information and later knowledge for decision making. All right, so for example, routine sales report by product, by region, by salesperson, by anything else that the manager wants or the top management want, we can produce, okay, based on the demand, okay, based on the demand. often built on top of the data warehouse where the data is not transactional. We can have top up, okay? We can have top up, we can have additional on top of the basic reports that we have. Main goal is the effectiveness, then efficiency. So we at the end can provide the correct information in a timely manner. Okay, so when you look at here, because we put a versus here, we tend to compare in between transaction processing and also analytic processing. In BI, we are on analytic sides. That's why before we really need to understand, so we need to actually differentiate BI from the common transaction processing. All right. So for the TP, transaction processing, actually, we want to have high efficiency. Okay. But for analytic processing, the main goal is the effectiveness. Okay. Effectiveness. How effective is the process to achieve the goal that we want, to provide the knowledge, to pump in the decision to the decision maker. Okay, what the wise decision can be done from the reports. So this is the effectiveness. If let's say we talk about efficiency, normally it will be on what? Time basis, meaning that we want fast, accurate and fast lah. Of course, must be accurate from the system itself to provide the routine report, the dynamic reports, right? So, but when we compare to analytic parts, it will be more, we want more on the effectiveness side. Provide the correct information and also in a timely manner. That's why it's effectiveness and efficiency. Any questions so far before I proceed?
No questions.
No questions. Okay, good. So just let's proceed. Okay, let's move on to the appropriate planning and alignment with the business strategy. Okay, let's look at here. We are on this architecture of BI, right? Now we are talking about the strategy side. Okay, talking about strategy side. Just now we are talking about the tools, right? The analytic parts, all about the BA environment is the analytics. Now we move forward to the performance and strategy side, and we look at what are the strategies and demand requirement that are the basics in BI as the overview for you before you go into the case study later. All right. This is about the planning and executions. First and foremost, the fundamental reason for investing BI must be aligned. Okay, we want to have the alignment. Okay, align with the company business strategy. So meaning that when we want to have BI, we need to buy, correct? So that's why we said that the investment of BI must be aligned with the company business strategy. What actually company want? What actually company want is form already announced, already have a guideline, roadmap. So all this already documented under the business strategy, meaning that is the planning side already there. Right? When we have the planning side, the execution side, we want BI to help us to execute it. That's why the planning and the alignment with the business strategy must be appropriate. Appropriate planning and alignment with the business strategy. Okay? For the business, organization, functionality, and also infrastructure. All this must be aligned. Okay, BI cannot simply be technical exercise. Cannot be simply a technical exercise without the alignment with business strategy. Okay, only the technical exercise for information system department. Okay, we leave it to the information department to operate it and to handle all the issues without any alignment. It's not like that. but it has to be served as a way to change the manner in which the company conduct business by improving the business process and also transforming decision-making processes to be more data-driven. Okay, to be more data-driven. So if the company strategy is properly aligned with the reason for data warehousing and also BI initiative, and if the company IS organization is or can be made capable of playing its roles in such a project, so the user community is in place and has the proper motivation. So what we are having here is the BI Competency Center. So the function, it is wise to start this BI Competency Center within the company. Okay, so the center could serve some of the following functions, such as how BI is linked to strategy and execution of strategy. So we can counter check. We can have the monitoring with the alignment of the business strategy with this BI Competency Center. The demand, okay, for real-time, on-demand BI, okay, is attainable, right? As a result, a category of products called real-time BI applications has also emerged. Emergence of real-time BI applications as the first point. The introduction of the new data generating technology such as RFID, okay, this is the new technology, and other sensors is also accelerating the growth and the subsequent need for the real-time BI. Traditional BI system use the large volume of the static data that has been extracted, cleansed and loaded into the data warehouse to produce reports and analysis. However, the need is not just reporting because user need business monitoring. At the other end, performance analysis also we need to provide and an understanding of why things are happening. Okay, at the end, web services or other monitoring means like intelligent agents can be placed on the separate server in the network or on the transactional applications, databases, and they can use event and process the base approaches, measure and monitor the operation process. Now coming for the justification side. Okay, the critical BI system consideration. Do we want BI? Critical BI system considerations. So how actually we want it, how we can invest it to make or buy. Okay, make versus buy. Developing or acquire. Developing meaning that we are going to make it by ourselves, or acquire BI system, meaning that we want to buy it. Why? There is a justifications and also the considerations. This is a challenging. Why? Because as the number of potential BI application increases, there are a lot. Many potential BI applications are available. So the need to justify or prioritize them arises. This is not an easy task due to the large number of the intangible benefits. We need to counter, we need to consider so many intangible benefits from the BI. So both direct or intangible benefits needed to be identified first, okay, before really we want to consider to acquire or to develop. For example, the data warehousing, okay, provide a wealth information about products and innovative applications and implementation. Such information can be useful in estimating direct and indirect benefits. Also can be carried out by the organizations. And another issue will be like the security. Security also will be challenged and also will be considered by the company. Protection of privacy as well, for the protection of privacy. These two are extremely important in the development of any computerized system, not only BI, but in any. But in BI also especially, it's very important because BI contain data. Okay, whenever that we have the data, so the data may possess strategic value. Okay, we do not know that the data actually are many hidden value for the company. That's why the privacy of the employee and customer need also to be protected. So these are the consideration for security and the protection of the privacy of the consumer. Although the data, let's say for example, the transaction data, the demographic of a consumer data, so we need to consider also the issue of the privacy of the consumer for the protection issue later. If let's say anything that we disclose later in the report will touch any protection issue of the privacy or not. So this must be really carefully to be handled by the company. Okay, integration to other system and applications. Yes, with the exception of some small applications, all BI application must be integrated. We have small applications on top of the BI that we are going to invest. So what we are going to do? Integrate them. Okay, integrated with other systems such as, for example, databases. Let's say another example is the legacy system. Or another example commonly already used by the company is the enterprise system. Enterprise system, particularly like ERP and CRM. Okay, e-commerce. Let's say, for example, the sell side or the buy side and many other more, right? In addition, BI applications are usually connected. We must integrate and connected, right? To what? To the internet and many times to IS, information system of internally or to the business partners, information system of the business partner. Okay. Furthermore, to close this scope, BI tools sometimes need to be integrated among themselves and creating the synergy. So the need for integration push the software vendors to continuously add capabilities to their products. Customers who buy an all-in-one software package deal. So what we have this all-in-one software package deal with only one vendor and do not have to deal with system connectivity. So there are many packages that are available like the all-in-one, okay, already done by the vendor. So the integration may not be critical issues because vendor actually are aware of these needs and they have already developed them. Okay, but they may also lose the advantage of creating the system composed from the best of breed components, meaning that the company may also want to develop their best of the breed components from the company itself, but they do not want to consider to buying from the vendors. So this is the considerations for the company whether want to make versus buy, right? But in reality, actually, many vendors already can provide these, and company actually with the budget and priority, they can actually acquire the BI system. Let's say, for example, our student in MMU actually learn about the BI, and also actually we have already subscribed SAP, and SAP actually is a solutions that from ERP, CRP, go to the BI analytics, BA and BI at the end. So it's a vendor that SAP is only one of the player one of the vendor that provide the solution. We can have many other more, okay, big players in the market also can provide these solutions. Okay. Any questions so far? Before I proceed to another part will be for the BA part, is the analytics part. Okay, let's check the chat because I did not hear anything. No, thank you. Okay. So shall we have a break or I non-stop? We can just carry on. I have already finished the first part of the lecture.
I think we can have 10-minute break, Doctor.
Okay, I see student wanted a toilet break. So I think I can continue the class at 4 p.m. Is that all right? Okay, break. Okay, I will continue back. So we just have a few minutes break, 8 minutes. So I will continue at 5. 5 in Malaysia time now, of course. Okay, is Indonesia is 4 o'clock. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Dr.
Okay, yes. Okay, let me continue with the analytics part. We have finished the introductions about at the beginning about the learning outcome of this one. Okay, we have finished the today turbulent business, need for computerized support, BI methods and also concept. Now is the next part is to understand the different types of analytics and the selected applications. Okay, before we continue to the case study later. So this is the overview chapter. Okay, let's start with the analytics overview. Okay, everything is fine. Huh? Okay, let's look at what actually is the analytics. Although many authors and consultants have defined it slightly differently, so they may not be the same for the authors because there are many authors already define it and many books already we have it. But one thing in summary is we can view the analytics as the process of developing actionable decision. So this is the same consensus among all. Okay, meaning that the process of developing actionable decisions, the decision can be done. Okay, it's actionable, or the recommendation for actions based on the insight generated from historical data. So this is the consensus among all the authors and the consultants. Okay, they view analytics as these definitions. Okay, this idea of looking at all the data to understand is according to what is happening, what will happen, and how to make the best of it has also been encapsulated by INFORMS. Okay, INFORMS is Institute for Operation, Research and Management. So it's according to the INFORMS, analytics represent the combination of computer technology, management science techniques, and statistics to solve the real problems. So you can look at here, we can have not only one component, but it's a combination of technology, management science technique, and also statistics to solve the real problem of the organizations. Okay, so this is the analytics overview. And this idea, okay, proposing 3 levels of analytics, and we can say this is a simple taxonomy of analytics, and it's actually in 3 levels. Okay, descriptive, predictive, and also prescriptive analytics. Okay, so we prescribe it, we predict it, and also we just describe, okay, the analytics in a simple taxonomy of analytics in this 3 level. Okay, let's look at the graphical view. Okay, this figure actually representing a graphical view of these 3 levels of analytics. It suggests that these 3 are somewhat independent steps. Okay, they are independent steps, and one type of analytics application leads to another. Okay, meaning that descriptive actually is leading to the next level, predict or prescribe. Okay, so we can have these 3 levels, although they are independent, but one type of analytics application actually leads to the other. Okay, leads to the other. Okay, it also suggests that there is actually some overlapping across these 3 types of, and also they are overlapping. Sometimes they are overlapping across these three types of analytics. In either case, the interconnected nature of different types of analytics application is evidence. We next introduce these three levels of analytics, and we can have them in questions, enables, and also outcome for each of the level. Okay, for example, this graphical view already summarized here, and I will come back later after we introduce one by one in the next lecture slide, and we will come back to summarize all. Okay, let's go to see what is actually the just describe. Okay, descriptive analytics. What is it? Okay, descriptive analytics, or is just we call them as reporting analytics, just for reporting. Okay, reporting analytics refer to knowing what is happening. Okay, answering to the question of what happened. Okay, answer the question of what happened in the organization. Where is what happened in the organization, and understand some underlying trends and also the causes of such occurrence. So this is from where we can know it. So it's from data. So what happened in the past, you can see here is what happened in past tense. So meaning that we are going to look at the historical data. Okay, historical data, historic data. So it's a retrospective analysis of historic data. So what do we need? So it's listed under the enablers, the tools basically. So we need OL, analytic processing, online analytic processing. We need data warehousing. We need the data, we need the analytics methods, we need the tools. And then later on, we want to represent what happened. Okay, in the past, we need data visualization. So meaning that we are going to use dashboards, we are going to use scorecard, meaning that we want to know the performance, some already documented. So the achievement for us, for example, the KPI, where actually are the current status, and then the achievement. So all these can be represented by the data visualizations. So these are the tools that are available for us to describe, to report the analytics of what happened based on the historical data. Okay, in summary, we call them as the descriptive statistics. Okay, descriptive statistics. Next. Okay, the next level, okay, is leading. Okay, describe is leading to predict. Okay, these next levels actually is to determine what is likely to happen. It's not only for past tense, just now is what happened. What happened. But now is what is likely to happen, meaning that in future events, foreseeing the future events. By what? How we can do the prediction is looking at the past data, also on data, right? Everything on data, because data is the first component. Okay, the first component, right? So looking at the past data to predict the future. What we are going to use? Data mining, okay, text mining, web mining, or forecasting techniques, or modeling, or let's say time series to do the prediction, okay, based on the models, okay. We already pump in the value, so it will be modeled out the prediction in the coming months, in the next quarters, what is going like to be, okay, for the production, for the resource planning. So this is the prediction job, okay, predictive analytics part. And this is leading to the M of BI. What do we want? We want solution. Is the decision. So this prescriptive analytics aims to determine the best possible decisions. What we are going to use? to use both descriptive and predictive to create alternative solution, alternative, and then determine the best one. Okay, determine the best one. So what are the things we are going to use? What are the tools? What are the enablers? So they are the same, tools, enablers, or the technologies. We can have optimization, simulation, multi-criteria decision modeling. We can have mathematical modeling. We can have business modeling or heuristic programming. So these are the tools that possible to be used, okay, to prescribe, to draw out the solutions. Okay, analytics apply to many domains. Okay, not only in business, it can in statistics. Okay, it can be in health science, healthcare, can be in retail, it can be in insurance, banking. So it's applied to many domains. And it's very useful to provide the solution based on the first step is the first level, descriptive analytics. Okay, so let's come back to the summaries. Okay, let's come back to the summary. So for the descriptive, actually, we are answering what happened or what is happening. Okay, what happened, what is happening. If let's say we have a timeline, so this is from the past until today, because this is happening, right? Until current, now. Past until now. So it's the descriptive. So we are going to answer what's happened and also what is happening. And the next level is the predictive. It's helping us to answer what will happen and why will it happen. Okay, reasons, we can predict the reason why will it happen and what will happen in future. And the reason why will it happen. Let's say, for example, we are going to predict that the sale for the festive seasons are more. Based on the past 3 years sales data, we know that during the festive season, let's say, for example, Hari Raya, okay, or the Christmas holiday, right, or the Christmas season, okay, the sales actually are double as the normal season, right? So this is what actually we predict, and also why will it happen are due to festive season. So this is the reason why will it happen. Okay, so this is the questions that we are trying to answer and provide the solution. Okay, at the end to the prescriptive, what should I do? Why should I do it? Meaning that we are going to answer what. Let's say, for example, you want to improve the sale. What should I do? Let's say, for example, I want to reduce the price. I want to have the promotion. I want to invest more on these tools due to the past statistics saying that, okay, these two are more acceptable by our potential customer. For example, I have already studied and already gained the data from the Geekstream, and then the Geekstream is showing me that all the existing customers are led by the website. Okay, this ABC website, for example, are leading them to my e-commerce website. So I know that this ABC website is the gateway for them. So I should invest in this ABC website for promotion. So what should I do next? So I want to invest. So this is what should I do. And then why should I do it? Why? Because it get the response high from the customer and also the potential customer, right? So this is why should I do it. I get the reason. I get the reason not only simply by, let's say, on feeling or anything, but based on data. Because data actually speaks. Okay, data actually can give the solution for the company in order to do the action. That's why in analytics, we told that is developing actionable decisions all the recommendation for action based on the insight generated from the historical data. Okay, from the historical data, let's say, for example, from the transaction records, that let's say the transaction record for 1,000 customer, okay, from the 1,000 customer for the last week, okay, most of them make the transaction through, let's say, for example, a platform in where? Okay, in Google. Let's say, for example, in Google search. Okay, they are from Google and then come to my e-commerce website. So I need to do advertisement. I want to do an advertisement. Where should I put my advertisement? Let's say, for example, okay, I will want to actually invest in Google Ads. Let's say, for example, like that, because they are actually coming from Google, right? So this is a thing that why should I do it? Based on the statistic, based on the data, not based on baseless. Okay, for the marketing right now and for the BI right now, we want to base on data to make a wise decision, because many competitors and actually budget are limited. Many priorities we need to invest. Okay, so this is what we are going to tell that to answer the questions for independently for the descriptive, predictive, and the prescriptive. Okay, for the enables also you can compare, and then you can see that here is the all the dashboards, scorecard, data warehousing is the data, and then we can have advanced tool here, and this one is more to modeling, because we are going to give up the solutions, more advanced here, optimization, simulation, decision modeling, expert system, as compared to the traditional methods like data mining, text mining, okay, all the minings here, and then doing the forecasting. Okay, so this last part will be the outcome for each of the level, and then you can look at here, actually they are interrelated. They are interrelated, meaning that for one side of the outcome of the descriptive actually is leading to the predictive outcome. So you can look at here, the outcome for descriptive is the well-defined business problem and opportunity. From what happened and what is happening, we can come out the outcome for the business problem, the challenge that are currently facing. Let's say, for example, social distancing. Okay, social distancing during the pandemic is the challenge that we need to overcome. Okay, let's say, for example, if let's say I open restaurant, okay, and also people are scared for the dining in my restaurant. So what shall I do? Okay, what happened in the past? Reduce customer visit due to social distancing and due to the pandemic, right? So it's what happened, and then what is happening currently right now, what shall I do? And when we have this well-defined business problem, we know that the problem is already there, and we have to overcome it. So what is the opportunity? So the opportunity will be we need to come up with the new business model. Let's say, for example, people are afraid to dine in, so I will open up the online business, right? Let's say, for example, delivery, food delivery, right? And also like e-commerce website, if let's say I can have the outcome is the well-defined, the problem and the opportunity to the food delivery. So this is something that I can consider for my business. Okay, so the next step for predictive. Predictive is an accurate projection. What can I project in the near future? Okay, accurate projection of future events and also outcome. So I will predict that, okay, based on this historical data. So the food delivery market actually is good, okay, and the accurate projection can be done, okay, based on the task delivery services. So projection can be done. And next step is the best possible business decision and action. So what is the next action? Can be done by the company, by myself. Okay, if let's say due to the pandemics, the dine-in services are limited. Okay, so what is the best solutions that I can make based on this challenge, and based on this challenge can be opened up to another opportunity for me. Okay, I can venture into another business, let's say it's for food delivery. Okay, this is something that can be considered for the prescriptive analytics. Any questions so far? I think we have done this analytics part. And these are the examples. These are the example in healthcare for the Humana example in the book, in this book lah. Okay, the contents here actually are based on these two books. This is the newer version, but their case study and the sample actually are different. So that's why I cited these two books. Okay, it's a newer version. And I also still use some of the material from the old version. That's why I cited these two books. Okay. For example, one, let me just briefly explain a bit of the analytic application in healthcare. For these three example is regarding to the healthcare sector, okay? And for the example one is preventing falls in the senior populations that are using the analytic approach lah, to solve, to have the solution for it. And the next example is also the application of analytics to define the right metrics, meaning that they are going to have the accurate projection for the metrics for the Humana goal. And the third example is the predictive models to identify the highest risk membership in a health insurer. So it's for the insurer, and they are going to do the predictions. Okay, so these are all the three examples in the selected domains. And what I will explain to you for our today lecture is the analytics in the retail value chain. Okay, as we know, why I selected this is because that a retail sector is where you would perhaps to see the most application of analytics. Like in this figure, okay, we can have the example of the analytic applications from the vendor side to the customer. Okay, meaning that it highlights the selected components of the retail value chain. Start with vendors. Vendors is the supplier, and also conclude at the end with the consumer. Okay, the illustration for here, you have some intermediate. Okay, you have some intermediate in the middle. Strategic and also operational planning, decision point, where analytics happen. Okay, where actually analytics happen in the intermediaries are like descriptive can be happen, predictive, and also prescriptive. Okay, they are playing the role in making better the, again and again, is the data-driven decision. Okay, the decision actually are made from data. All right. Let's look at, let's talk a little bit about the physical and also online store. Okay, why we are needed analytics in the physical or online store. This is because the physical and online store face many challenges in succeeding. There are a lot of competitors, and also market dominant at one time does not guarantee continue the success. So there are many challenges outside there and also many competitors. So Okay, hence investing in learning about the supplier. So you can see that supplier, we are invest at the organization, they need to invest on supplier, they need to invest on customer, employee, and all the stakeholders. So you can see that's all the stakeholder in the intermediate levels, in order to enable the retail value chain to succeed. They want to be successful. That's why they want to know more about the stakeholders in each of the level and using this information to make the better decision. The decision is making from data, of course, it's a data-driven decisions, and this better decision has been the goal, is the objective of the analytics industry for the long time. So meaning that at the beginning, towards the end, what they want, actually they want to know more about the stakeholders in between. Okay, for example, what we can have in the example is for the retail store. We know that the big players, let's say for example, Amazon, okay, and in your textbook, they introduce like Walmart, Target, and other big players in the retailer. Actually, they have invested millions of dollars in the analytic for their supply chain. So you can see here for the vendors here, okay, they will invest a lot of money in the supply chain management. Okay, and some more like the inventory cost optimizations. Okay, they invest a lot of this inventory hostage, excess management, and less unwanted costs. So they invest a lot of these to gain the knowledge to get the better data-driven decisions, okay, from the vendors. So which one they want to buy from, okay, and then who are the best for them. So all are these other data-driven solutions. So all the big players actually are investment in the analytics to power their value chain. Okay. Most of the analytic technology and also service provider also have the major presence in this retail analytics. We call this one as the retail analytics. Okay, for the retail store, okay, for the retail value chain, okay, we can call them as the retail analytics. All right, so this section just highlight a few potential applications which already having in this figure, and most of these have been already filled by many retailers and are also available through many technology providers. So that this section will take a more general view rather than point to the specific cases. You can see that actually they are in the general view. For example, for the planning side, okay, so on and so forth. You can see this point, okay, is for planning for the general view. Okay, merchandising, okay, for example, targeted promotion, customized inventory, promotion and price optimizations, customized shopping experience. So it's for merchandising. Okay, for the buying side, okay, what they can do for the analytics, okay, they can do for trend analysis, category management, predicting trigger events for sales, better forecast of demand. So these are the things, okay, actually is the critical needs at every touch point of the retail value chain and proceed. Okay, after buying, after transaction done, okay, this is the buying point. Okay, we can have before and also after. Okay, after the transaction done, okay, it's come to this level. It's the logistic part. Okay, then in the logistic part, what data can be used and then to produce the solution? Is the one-time product available at low cost, order fulfillment, reduce transportation costs. So these are the means that they want to achieve, okay, to reduce the transportation cost for delivery. Okay, after transaction is the delivery, then they will pass to this logistic. So what are the costs? We want to reduce the cost. Of course, the objective here is to reduce the cost, but to provide the value, still maintain the value or with better value quality, right? So this is the things that need to be done by the organizations. Then next is the multi-channel operation. So what can be done here? Like deliver seamless customer experience, understand relative performance of channel, optimization on marketing strategy. So this is the multi-channel. So there are many more, right? Then at the end, to the concludes with customer, then we have the is already our customer after buying. So what we want to do, we want to have the decision of how to maintain the customer, to keep the customer loyal to the company. So this is the main thing. Okay, we want to get the decision. So it's for building retention and satisfaction. We want to always keep the customer happy. Okay, that is the first thing. Always want to make the customer happy by building retention and satisfaction strategies. Service, after sales service, understanding the needs of the customer better. Okay, and then serving with LTV. LTV is the long run, okay, or long time value. Okay, we want to make the value longer. Customer better, right? So we want to serve the customer better and we want to retain, because in marketing, we always proven that gaining a new customer, actually the cost is much more than maintaining the customer, right? So that's why we always want to keep the customer. After that already be your customer, we always want to keep them. That's why what is the solution, that what is the better way that we can keep the customer is from the previous data, from the past transaction data. Then only we can know that way we can always make the customer happy and try them, okay, try to get them to buy more, or we can do not want to churn, the customer churn, meaning that they are leaving the company and then shift to other product. So this is the that we do not want. That's why building retention and also satisfaction for the value chain. Any questions so far? So we have done the analytics example. Okay, if no question asked, right? So I will proceed to the a little bit I want to share with you is the, because we cannot avoid data, we want to do something with data. That's why I will finally, I would like to talk a little bit about big data, okay, to close our lecture today. Why? Okay, before I go here, let me just introduce a bit why we want to talk about big data first. Okay, let's think about it. Okay, our brands actually work extremely quickly. Okay, we can, but also very individual dependence. Okay, normally our brands actually work extremely quickly. We can respond and also versatile in processing large amount of all kinds of data. Let's say, for example, you have image, text, sound, smell, video, and then you can sense it. Okay, this is image. Okay, this is sound. Okay, what sound is this? And then what smell is it? And then, okay, this is video. Okay, we can structure them in very quick way, and also efficiently we know, okay, what are these source of data. As human, we process all different forms of data relatively easily. Easily, without think twice, we know that this is image. Okay, this is sound. This is what smell. Okay, this is fragrance, something like that. But computers, on the other hand, are still finding it hard to keep up the pace at which data is generated. Okay, let alone analyze it fast. Okay, so this is still in the research. Okay, this is why we have the problem when coming with big data. Okay, when big data, so, okay, in today's lecture, I just want to talk a little bit about what is big data. But simply put, big data is the data that cannot be stored in a single storage unit. Cannot store in a single storage unit. Big data typically refers to data that is coming in many different forms. Okay, as many different forms. Let's say, for example, they are in large, right? Big data typically refers to data that come in many different forms. Large data, structured data, unstructured data, all continuous data. And they are actually coming from 3V. Okay, 3V, of course, big in volume, a lot of different forms, volume are high. So this is the nature of the big data. Then only the data is considered as big. Okay, so this is why we are talking about big data today. Okay, the major sources of such data are coming from clickstream, for example. Okay, clickstream like from the website, like for example, increasing is the posting on social media sites. Okay, such as the Facebook posting from their subscriber. Okay, you can know that how many subscribers per day they are going to post up, right? If let's say as a marketer, we want to analyze it, so we need to find a way to analyze the big data to become an actionable solution for them, right? And the data from traffic also non-stop, is continuous. It's continuous. The traffic data, sensor data, right? Continuous. Sensor data always send, right? And also like weather data, also continuous data. Today, tomorrow, and day after. Correct? So these are all the continuous data. And some more, web search engine like Google actually need to search and intake billions of web pages. Okay, there are billions of web pages in order to give you the relevant search result. Correct? In a second. In a second, you search, then Google will give you a billions of the web pages in that order that for your relevancy. Okay? Right? So, of course, they have their tools, okay, to produce it. Okay, we can have it, and then like for example, the Google use Google file system and later develop and release as the Apache project as the Hadoop, okay, HDFS, okay, to process this big data. Okay, so this is a little bit from me for the introduction of big data. Then later for case study, okay, in the future lecture, then you have a lot more to analyze and then to see the case, right? Okay, any questions so far? I will finish. Okay, I will finish here. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will try my best to answer them. Let me check the chat. There's a question just now. Where is it? Muhammad Fazlan.
Manhazik, yeah.
Can you type one more time? Maybe I go too far bottom.
I saw the question here. Does the 3Vs in
Oh,
big
this
data?
one. Okay,
Yes.
just before this. Value and veracity. Originally, there are 3V. Okay, so we can have more and with other technology. Yes. Okay. Any more questions?
Yes, Dr. Liu, a lot of students ask about where they can get the recording of the class.
If you allow me, I can share. I will share with you. I think I can share
Okay.
with Madam Inda.
Yes,
Okay.
that would be great.
Okay. Then it's no problem to share
Sure. Thank you.
because
guess-
I'm recording and it will process. Take a few hours to process, and then after I got it, I will share it to you, and then you can
Yes.
share to the students.
Yes, Dr. Liu.
Okay.
Okay. For the next class, till same link, we will update you with the link one day before the class. Okay. I think this link is only for Dr. Liu class.
Okay, my email is there. If let's say you have anything to ask me or you want to have some confirmation or verification about the content, so you can, please do not hesitate. You can feel free to email to me. I will try to answer. Okay, my email is already in the second page. Okay, hopefully you can gain some insights. Okay, what is already in the market trend and also for BI overview. Like I have already discussed in the lecture for the past 2 hours is about the introduction about how and then why we need BI, and then what actually we can look at, and then what actually the solutions that we can gain from BI for the market, right? Okay, I think if let's say no question asked, I think I can end here.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your participation.
Okay, so don't forget to fill out the link.
Okay. Don't forget to fill out the feedback link, participants. It is also an attendance list for today, for the first class.